Okay, in this video we're just going to talk about tap to focus on the Panasonic GH6, and the reason I'm making this video is because I get asked the question a lot from people that move from the GH5 series up to the GH6 that they're having trouble with tap to focus, and the sort of reason for this is because Panasonic have changed the way it works, and there are a couple of little workarounds we can use, but essentially the way it worked before is different now to how it does in newer cameras. So we'll just kind of take a look and I'll show you what I mean. It's not something that will affect everybody, because as you can see, if I can focus on there, if I can bring one of these people a bit forwards and then come down to there, so you can kind of see I've got my focus point here. I can focus on that person, I can tap over here, and that will focus into the background for me, back to there, focus on the front. And that kind of works if I'm recording as well, so I can focus on that person, tap back here, you can see the focus has shifted, and back again. So that all works fine, and that's using AFC. So if you don't know what I'm talking about there, I'll link a video to sort of what all of this means for the AF modes, but essentially nothing's changed in that regard. It's just when you switch into manual focus, and you'll be able to see here if I do sort of click on anything, you can kind of see that it's not actually going to focus on the person until I press this button here, this physical button. And you can see I've got kind of focus peaking working there, which I'll blink in the corner. If you're using manual focus, you want to be using focus peaking. So, but look, you can see the person in the background. I click on them, they don't get highlighted. So what I need to do is either physically press the AF on button up here, which will focus on them, or press the AF button here. So it's essentially a secondary confirmation. So you pick the next focus point, and then you initiate it with one of these two buttons. And that's a sort of quibble that a lot of people have, because you used to be able to just sort of drag to focus and then it would just initiate that focus, a lot more like in the video mode. So for some people, they just want that instant feedback where it just does that. And for other people, they'd rather sort of queue up the next one and then give it that secondary confirmation, just in case they misfocus the first time, because it can be a little bit fiddly, sometimes using the screen or the joystick to kind of move this around. And sometimes you need to just sort of like tidy up the actual focus point. So with the point, you can increase it and decrease it. Again, we've been through that in another video, so I'll kind of link to that, but it's that's not sort of the main purpose of this. So the closest way really you can kind of emulate that instant feedback now is really by using something like Touchpad AF, and I did a video about that, so I'll kind of link to that and you can take a look. But essentially with Touchpad AF, it lets you use the viewfinder, and then you can essentially use the touchpad to sort of say where you want the focus to be, and then it will initiate that without the secondary confirmation of the AF on button. And obviously that's not perfect, because you need to use the viewfinder. A lot of people probably would rather use the screen rather than a viewfinder, but if it's for photography, then that's quite a nice workaround for that. So there are sort of some options there, but yeah, the overview of it really is the Panasonic removed that feature because apparently people would have preferred it to work in this way. And I appreciate that's like a mixed bag, where some people like it one way and some people like it the other way. So it's sort of a shame you can't have an option in the menu to just kind of say enable secondary confirmation or disable secondary confirmation for focus, but that's sort of the way it is. That's the way they've put it in. So yeah, that's just sort of to kind of cover that. And then if people ask me again, I can sort of just point them in the direction of this, and then hopefully that explains it well enough for them. But if you found this video helpful, please give the video a like. If you want to see more Lumix content, then check out the Lumix playlist on this channel, and please subscribe.